everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Instant Replay, where I review the most controversial calls of the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We start in Vancouver, where the talking point was the penalty called on Real Salt Lake's Nat Borchers. Yes, the ball touches his hand as he slips in the box, but this was not deliberate, and there were no Vancouver players within 10 feet of him. Give the guy a break! Last week, we saw a similar incidental touch by Vancouver's Tommy Heineman when he was getting up off the ground against San Jose. That wasn't called, and in my opinion, neither should this Borchers play. That being said, Vancouver should have had a penalty just minutes before. Look at Tony Beltran tugging on Vancouver's Darren Maddox as he's chasing for this ball in the box. Beltran hangs on to the jersey for the entire play. Referee Drew Fisher decided not to call a foul in the box on RSL's Ned Grabavoy just before halftime. Based on the replays, we can't say for sure, but it looks like Grabavoy gets his leg out of the way just in time. But in this specific instance, if Fisher doesn't believe there's a foul, shouldn't YP Lee have received a yellow for simulation? Next, we head to Seattle. Sounders winger Steve Zalkwani wanted a PK in the 9th minute for an alleged infraction by Revs defender Jose Gonçalves. The ball does hit his arm, but Gonçalves is trying to pull his arm back and get it out of the way. That's ball to hand. Good no call by Chris Penso. Things went fairly smoothly in Seattle, but we have two plays to look at in Philadelphia. 88th minute, and Ashton Morgan, who already had a yellow, gets a second yellow for this header challenge on Shane Williams. We pointed this out last week, how there are at least 4 to 5 of these plays every week. But this is not a red card in my opinion, and I don't think it was even worthy of a yellow. Morgan simply has better position than Williams, and his arms are extended as part of his natural motion. But these plays continue to have plenty of gray area. On the ensuing free kick, Philadelphia thought they had the equalizer. But look at the replay and how Philly's Jack McInerney kicks the left arm of Toronto goalkeeper Joe Bendik. Follow the white glove and how it's shoved out of the way. Great call by referee Storan Stojka. Now to Los Angeles, where we have two PK calls to look at. First, in the 6th minute, there's no doubt that Eric Avila clips Colorado's Deshaun Brown from behind. The only doubt here is whether Avila should have seen red for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. It would have been harsh, but I think a red card would have been fair. There was no PK for Chivas USA's Jorge Villafaña in the 33rd minute. He even got a yellow card for simulation from referee Kevin Stott. But it's clear from the replay that Atiba Harris stomps on Villafaña's right foot. That was a penalty. The Goats would get their penalty 3 minutes later when Shane O'Neill applies the two-handed shove on Jose Correa. Good call there by Stott. More PKs at FC Dallas Stadium. It's the 60th minute, and Leonardo clearly trips up Blas Perez, and he gets the automatic red card for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Bruce Arena doesn't agree, but referee Baldomero Toledo is spot on. He was also spot on in the 68th minute. Dallas defender George John sticks out his foot, misses the ball, and trips up Jose Villarreal in the process. Stone cold PK. Should the Portland Timbers have had a penalty in the 30th minute against San Jose? Although it looks like it might be a clean tackle by San Jose's Rafael Baca, the replay shows he actually never makes contact with the ball. When we slow it down, Baca actually kicks Nagbe's leg into the ball, which causes the redirection. In my opinion, that should have been a PK. The other big play in this game, the red card to Alan Gordon in the 68th minute. It's actually his second yellow, and referee Hilario Grajeda got it right. Gordon gets a better position, but the way he's leading with an all-out pointed elbow makes it dangerous play. With or without Mikael Silvestre's bloody lip, that's a yellow card. Next to Montreal, excellent no call by referee Mark Geiger on the risky tackle in the box by Chad Marshall on Marco Di Vaio. That was a 50-50 ball, and Marshall won it. The one Di Vaio won't stomach was the 63rd minute goal he scored that was called back for an alleged offside. But the replay shows Di Vaio was in line with crew left back Tyson Wall. But what's worth noting on this play is how assistant referee Joe Fletcher begins in line with the last defender, but eventually he's out of position and ahead of the play when it's time to make the call. Lastly, Sunday's game between Houston and Chicago. The Fire's Chris Rolfe wanted a handball called on Houston's Bobby Boswell in the 36th minute with the score tied 1-1. And it does seem like Boswell's left arm is extended and comes up enough to deflect the ball and prevent it from going toward goal. Rolfe has reason to argue the play is nearly identical to the handball in the box by New York's Johnny Steele last weekend, which was called for a PK. That's all we have for this week. See you next time.